That was Roll Up by Wiz Khalifa right here on KDPS Radio Edge 88.1. It's the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coil.
Woo, woo!
Oh, yeah, it's time for some bro talk, some bro complaints we've got about
Absolutely.
guys. What do you got for a bro?
I have a bro that really angers me. It really gets on my nerves, you know? And that is when a fellow bro eats or drinks the last of your special snack or drink. And
I see.
What really got me thinking about this was I had a friend over the other day, and I don't drink pop. So all that I drink is Snapple. I drink Snapple and that's it. And my friend, and I am using the air quotes for friend, because I don't think he is at this point, decided he was going to drink my very last Snapple. That is not something you do around me. You do not drink my last Snapple, because that is my drink. That's all I drink. You can drink whatever heck you want, but Snapple, that's all mine.
Well, maybe he just wanted to read an interesting fact on the inside of the bottle cap.
He could have had me read it to him. He didn't have to steal my Snapple.
Wait, but you said you might not be friends with him, so you're going to base your friendship on whether he eats and drinks your food? Isn't that what friends do, is share?
Not me. Not my Snapple.
Not in my house.
No. The Snapple is a sacred thing to me, and he cannot come into my domain and steal my Snapple. That's not permitted. I don't allow it.
No, I wouldn't like that either. I wouldn't like anyone stealing my food, my drinks. That's my stuff. Ask permission first.
Exactly. And I don't. If he had asked permission, I probably would have said yes. Maybe not. Who knows? We'll see. But you don't just come into someone's house and take their stuff. You just don't do that.
Shame on you.
Exactly.
Shame. Well, my bro is guys who hold up and block traffic. Okay? Now I'm going somewhere with this.
Where are you going with this?
Let me set the scene for you. Okay, so I was driving today, and I was headed towards school. I was headed towards a meeting, and as I was driving past Smoky Row, the coffee shop,
okay,
all of a sudden there was this huge traffic jam, and there was all these cars stopped. And I don't know why. There was a police car that was blocking the traffic, and we're all these people and I are just sort of in our cars waiting for no reason. There's no accident, nothing going on. And then we see all these black SUVs with the little American flags and the interesting little placards on the sides. Like 4 or 5, 6 of them just drive by with a police escort. And then I'm reminded, oh boy, Joe Biden is here. Thanks, Joe Biden, for blocking the traffic. You almost made me late for my meeting.
That's a good buddy Joe Biden there, getting in the way of traffic.
Well, I will not be abiding by your rules.
Man,
if this keeps up.
That was terrible. I can understand that, because I actually also have a story about this. And so I was driving to school, and this was a week ago or so, and there was an accident. Okay, and I understand accidents happen, but rather than these two people, it was just like a simple fender bender. It wasn't anything serious. But rather than these two people, say, pulling off the road to where they can discuss things wherever, they decided they're just going to sit there in the middle of traffic, just blocking traffic, both lanes. So then I had to turn around and find an alternate route to school because they weren't willing to just move off to the side of the road. I don't get that.
I don't like it. I don't like people that block the road, like you said, and having to make an alternate route is so out of the way. You get in the comfort zone. You got your way, your commute, the way you drive to where. It's nuts.
And
come on, bro.
Exactly. Come on. What are you doing? My second bro are when people decide that their story just isn't quite good enough. When people decide that what really happened just isn't quite impressive enough, and they decide to embellish on their stories.
Oh, I think I might know who you're talking about, but is it Brian Williams?
Well, that too. Not exactly who I had in mind.
Not exactly, okay.
But I work with a guy, okay? I work with lots of guys. But this one in specific, whenever he's dealing with something that's annoying or kind of inconvenient at work, he just, he'll go off and he'll tell other people something that happened that really didn't happen at all. Like, for example, today he came up to me and was like, man, I went up and told my boss that I'm not going to settle for this anymore. I'm not going to put up with it, and if it happens again, I'm quitting. And you know what I thought? I thought you did not say that. You did not say that, or you would not be here still.
No, that's what he was thinking, though.
Yeah, that's what he was thinking. What he really meant to say.
The guys that talk like this, that they throw out these facts, this is what they're thinking. This is what they're fantasizing in their heads, but this is nowhere near what they're going to say.
He wishes he was bold enough to say.
That's
what he really means.
He's embellishing it, and he doesn't want to lose face in front of his coworkers.
Exactly. There are a lot of bro moments out there like that. And
I'm sure. Just like the one you wrote about on our Grandview student website.
Absolutely. kdpsgrandview.wix.com/radio. That I wrote a restaurant review, and it was a total bro moment. Everyone should go out there and check it out. It was a terrible experience, and honestly, just an no good, very bad restaurant review. And there are a lot of other interesting blogs, videos, other things on our wonderful student website out there.
We got photos, we got movie reviews, all kinds of stuff.
Absolutely. Everyone should go check it out.
Go check it out.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful place. And that should be our motto, you know? Our motto should be go check out our website.
kdpsgrandview.wix.com/radio.
So that's our new motto. Speaking of mottos, we have Drake with his motto.
This is Edge 88.1, and it's the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle.
Woo woo!
Every Thursday night from 8 to 10 right here on KDPS, getting ready for a little Valentine's Day weekend, and we've got our usual segments, a Cyhawk basketball talk we start off with, and then our Bro segment.
And let's not forget about No Way, where we share a little bit of crazy news, and end on a happy note with Pump You Up. But first, we have a little Empire of the Sun with Walkin' on a Dream. That was Why'd You Only Call Me When You're High by the Arctic Monkeys. And you are listening to the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle here on Edge 88.1.
Oh, yeah.
And hey, let's start it off with a little bit of Cyhawk basketball talk. How'd those Hawkeyes do?
Oh, those Hawkeyes are doing just fine, buddy boy. Guess what? They just beat the number 17 ranked Maryland Terrapins.
Ooh.
Terrapins, however you say it. It's a turtle. It's a tortoise.
It's a tortoise?
It's a tortoise.
That's good. I didn't know what a terrapin was.
Now you know.
You learn something every day.
You do indeed, but the Hawks beat them at home by convincing margin. This is a very good Maryland team that beat Iowa State, by the way.
You can shut up over there, Kelly, if you're going to bring up that.
No, but this is a great win for Iowa.
Absolutely.
A great win. This is really going to do a lot for their tournament hopes in the future, in March.
Yeah, and I agree that that's a big win, especially I feel like they are still coming off the few bad losses that they had. They kind of had a rough stretch, and now they're still trying to gain that momentum back. And I think that this is probably a good win for them to do that.
Well, it sure is. They lost 3 in a row, including 2 to Wisconsin, and then a bad loss against Purdue.
Yeah.
This is a great rebound. I mean, they blew out Michigan a week ago on this show, remember?
A week ago on this show, and then they have a great game against Maryland here. They're actually playing Minnesota right now. Really?
And they're down.
Ooh.
We'll have to see who wins that one. We may talk a little bit about it later on this show.
Minnesota's a tough team, so that's going to be interesting to see how that works. And I think that what they're doing is they're going the exact opposite way of Iowa State, because Iowa State's kind of losing momentum. Meanwhile, Iowa is gaining momentum heading into the tournament.
Indeed.
Because as Iowa State keeps on losing, they lost to Oklahoma. They're playing Texas Tech Saturday. I feel like they're kind of slowly losing control. But no matter what right now, all of Iowa's basketball is kind of being dominated by one story with this Adam Woodbury situation. And so what's exactly going on with that? Because I know that a lot of the media has run into trouble with Fran McCaffrey over this.
Well, here's what's going on. He seems to be able... Adam Woodbury, the big, tall center for Iowa, he keeps poking people in the eyes.
And that's not something you're supposed to do. That's not how you play good defense.
Well, I mean, he's poking people in the eyes, but people are wondering, is it malicious? Is he intentionally poking people in the eyes? Or is he just really clumsy? Or is this a case of the Three Stooges?
Probably the Three Stooges.
The Three Stooges?
Yeah.
I don't know, because it just seems clumsy. Like, if you're really going to poke somebody, it's really hard to poke somebody in the eye, don't you think?
True.
I mean, you got to you're a big, tall guy, and someone's coming at you really fast, and you're going to perfectly level up just in time. to poke him in the eyes,
Definitely
it's a little
challenging.
difficult. Yeah.
And I can see how the clumsy factor would come into it, because really all he's doing is he's just trying to put his hand up in their face so he can kind of get in the way of their shooting motion.
Right, and we all know how clumsy 7-footers are.
Exactly. But Fran McCaffrey really seems upset when people ask him about it.
Oh, he did. He was bossing around the local media during some questions in the press conference following the game, and he also told them that some of their questions were unintelligent, and they said, "How is that not a good question?" And he said, "Because I said it wasn't. Because I say so."
That sounds like something that my dad told me when I was a little kid and I was questioning him. "'Cause I said so, little kids."
Right, and he's trying to bully the local media. But see, when he gets invited after he's got all this negative publicity to go on SportsCenter and then do an interview with Yahoo Sports, then he gives a well thought out answer, and he changes his tone when he talks to the big boys of the media, but he's trying to control the local media.
And that's just not really something that's very smart to do. I think that right now, media publicity, especially negative, is not something that's going to help them. And kind of speaking on negative media publicity, some really, really negative media publicity coming out around Warren Sapp.
Indeed. The Warren Sapp is an analyst for the NFL Network, and he was recently fired for soliciting a prostitute.
I was going to say he was an analyst, not anymore.
Was an analyst, fired for soliciting a prostitute, and I actually liked Warren Sapp on the show. I thought he was very good, very funny guy.
You know, he kind of does come off as a kind of personable person, but there's been a lot of stories kind of coming out about that. And actually, a lot of the employees for NFL are really kind of saying that they're pretty happy that he's gone.
Really? Such as what?
Apparently, there was an official SAP disclaimer around the office where everyone knew to not look Warren Sapp in the eyes. Introduce yourself, but do not be friendly. And last but not least, never call him Sapp. Apparently, he gets really mad when people call him Sapp instead of Warren.
Well, it is a unique last name.
Yeah, but to me...
What a sap.
Exactly. He comes off as such a nice guy, and then apparently everyone really didn't like him, and now everyone's really happy that he's gone.
Yeah, it really sounds like a control freak.
Yeah, if he's going to get upset that people are calling him Sap, like, even if that bugs you, dude, just say that it bugs you and you'd rather than not call you that. You don't have to yell at him and be mean to him.
Well, don't worry. You're listening to Edge 88.1, and you're not a sap if you're listening to us.
Of course you aren't.
You're not at all, because up next we got Kurt Cobain's Drink in My Cup right here on Edge 88.1.
That was The Cave by Mumford & Sons here on Edge 88.1, your Des Moines Shuffle station. And we're back to the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle for just a little bit of no way.
There is no way.
A little bit of crazy news. What do you got? What's crazy today?
Well, we just finished sort of the last segment by talking about traffic jams. And speaking of traffic jams, there was a heck of one in Boston.
Yeah, what happened for us?
Well, in downtown Boston yesterday, there's a lot of snow, a lot of slippery roads. The East Coast gets a lot of bad weather in the wintertime. Well, there was a traffic jam caused by a 43-foot yacht blocking traffic in the snow. You see, it was on its way to a boat show in the New England area. It was en route there, and it sort of slipped off the hinge. And, Boston has very narrow streets.
Very narrow. I've been there.
So on a tight turn, it sort of slipped off the hinge, and it sat there, and it blocked traffic for quite a while.
Yeah, for real. You were complaining about having traffic blocked here. Imagine if you had a 43-foot yacht in your way. That would be a lot harder.
I know. First of all, I was thinking, what was a yacht doing there? So far from the water. And they're like, a boat show.
Exactly. That
I want to buy a yacht in the middle of winter.
Yeah, I feel like if you're going to transport your yacht, you're kind of going to look outside and look at the weather conditions and decide, maybe I shouldn't drive it through some crowded streets. Maybe I should stick to the open roads if I'm going to really transport this yacht. I don't get that.
Well, maybe it was very slick, you know, and we've all been there, you know, when we're driving and we take a turn and we sort of slide a little bit. Well, imagine having a 43-foot yacht that you're towing behind you, and then how you have to compensate for the turns and how it's probably going to slip around and sort of fishtail behind you. I bet that's a really tough job.
Fortunately, I can honestly say I will never be rich enough to afford a 43-foot yacht.
True. That is very true.
That right there is not in my life plans right now.
Absolutely no way.
No way. You know, I have one that I feel is even crazier because the degree of stupidity in this story really just outweighs that of any other story I feel like we've ever had on No Way. And that is an Arizona teen, okay, he got locked out. He forgot his keys inside, so he was locked out. His parents weren't going to be home for a while. I've been there. I'm sure you've been there. We've all had to wait outside for someone to get home. Some people have some pretty funny stories about them trying to get in. You know, maybe they break a window, something like that.
Indeed.
Well, this teen decided he was going to take a page out of Santa Claus's playbook and crawl down the chimney.
Oh, no. This did not end well, did it?
Oh, not well at all. He gets stuck halfway down the chimney, has to have fire rescuers come and get him out. And this is my favorite line of the whole story, my favorite line of any story. The boy, who was not identified because the family didn't want him to be embarrassed. Oh, poor... No, you're going to do something that stupid. You're a teenager. You're going to be embarrassed by that. You deserve it.
Okay, so my go-to move when I was locked out of the house was I'd try to get in the garage, get a ladder, and try to climb through a window. It never once considered me to go down the chimney.
Exactly.
That seems kind of a scary place. You know, it's dark and it's very cramped, and there might be animals in there.
Here's the thing. I can kind of understand, like, if it was, say, here where it's really cold outside and you really want to get in, sure, take a gamble. It's Arizona. Okay, it can't be that uncomfortable to just wait outside for a few hours.
Now, here's what I want to know. Did he get caught did he get, like, trapped in there because he was too fat? Or was the chimney just too skinny?
I would say he's too fat to be going down a chimney. That's a total no way.
Total no way there. Well, another story, it's actually pretty incredible. I don't know if you've seen the video, but in Texas yesterday, there was a crime that was happening, and a fugitive, or a potential fugitive, a suspect was fleeing the scene, and a big car chase was happening. And police were chasing this car, and what the car tried to do was ram through. There was about 4 or 5 cars at a stoplight, and they were blocking the path of the road, and he tried to smash through them.
I feel like that wouldn't work.
It didn't work, and he smashed his car up, and it wouldn't go anymore. But one of the vans that he hit, there was a mom in it, and she got very protective of her children. And as soon as he hit her, she jumped out of the car with her boyfriend, and she ran to this suspect's car, opened his door, pulled him out, and she and her boyfriend apprehended him and just started pummeling him, like, boop, 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 boop. Just took him down, and then all the cops rushed in, and they grab him. And later she said in an interview that she had lost a kid already, and then, well, another one of her kids was in the car with her, and that she didn't want to be losing another one. Her instincts just kicked in.
You don't mess with a mama bear. She will get out of that car. She will beat you up, apparently.
Right. You don't mess with a mama bear.
That right there. Honestly, that sounds scary. Just like a mother coming out of her car. If I was that fugitive, I would be terrified of that.
Indeed. No way.
Well, so you know how sometimes people just pick the wrong profession.
Yes.
People sometimes don't really think through what they want to do with their life.
Right.
So I have this story, and I don't really get it. I don't get why this person did this. She decided she wanted to be a teacher. She decided that was what she wanted to do with her life. Well, it turns out she got fired, and she tried to sue the school and said that they discriminated against her because she has a phobia of young children.
Okay, so let me get this straight. She's a teacher.
Ex-teacher.
But she was a teacher at a time, and she's going to teach young kids, only she's mortally terrified of young kids.
She has an actual phobia of young children, and she decided to be a second-grade school teacher.
Ouch! You ever think you're in the wrong line of work?
I feel like if you're going to work with someone, at least be not afraid of them.
Yeah, I mean, and we don't have to like kids, but we don't have to fear them.
Exactly. There are a lot of fears out there. That one, don't choose a career that you're going to be afraid of.
Don't choose a career you're going to be afraid of. So up next on Edge 88.1, we got Fearless by Taylor Swift. Keeping it looked right here. This is Edge 88.1. It's the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle. Final segment of the night. It's time to pump you up.
Pump you up.
Pump you up. Dakota, what pumps you up?
You know, this is a very specific feeling. It's not something that happens all the time. And that is, you know how when you're doing homework, sometimes you just get in that groove and you just kick butt on that assignment? I mean, you just get into where you're going, and all of a sudden that assignment is no problem. That's what pumps me up. I had it today, doing some homework. Out of nowhere, man, I just got going. And it was just, everything was coming easy to me. The assignment, nothing. Kicked butt on it. That is what pumps me up. I want to make sure, not the feeling where you think, or where you don't have homework, because that's not the same. That's like a relaxed feeling. This one is like the feeling that makes you feel empowered.
Well, I've never heard anyone talk about doing homework and make it sound as cool as you just did.
Yeah. Well, that's because usually it's not.
You make it sound like I've just won like a great battle.
And that's what it is for me.
I'm victorious.
Because I don't usually do my homework that well. So when I do, it's like, yes, I win.
Wow. Well,
I get very excited about my homework.
I don't really know what to say to that because, well, I do feel good when I get my homework done. It's sort of a feeling of accomplishment, kind of like when you go out to the gym and you get a good workout in, and when you get your homework done, you just sort of feel good. But I mean, only people that are sort of students can relate to that.
And that's what it's kind of like that feeling, like when you're in the gym and you have that great exercise, or you have that great workout. It's like that, where it's just get in that groove. Oh man, nothing can pump me up more.
Well, speaking of groovy, you know what pumps me up?
What pumps you up?
When I'm sexy and I know it.
You're sexy and you know it.
Indeed. I like dressing up very nicely, okay?
Yeah.
And when I dress up nice, I just feel so good, and I know when I look good, okay?
That sounds a little conceited, but I can understand.
It does, but it's acceptable, okay? Sometimes you just know, like, man, I really look good today.
Oh, yeah.
You just have those days, when everything's clicking, everything seems to be working out perfectly, and right down to the wardrobe, the way the hair looks, the way you smell.
I feel like that's every day for you, though.
You might be right there.
Yeah. No wonder you're always so happy. You're always like, man, I look good.
Well, and tomorrow is what we like to call Fancy Friday, and we always, some friends of mine always dress up very nicely in fine dress clothes.
I still think one of these days I'm going to dress up and show you what fancy really means.
Yeah, right. You're the last guy who would ever dress up.
Listen, just because I don't dress up.
This guy wears sweatpants and a t-shirt every day.
Not every day. Most days. Okay? It's comfortable. I like being comfortable. All right?
You would wear yoga pants if it would be acceptable.
Listen, if society let me wear yoga pants, if they're half as comfortable as girls say they are, I'd wear them every day probably.
Okay.
I freely admit that. Well, kind of speaking of girls, actually.
Oh, okay. While we're on the subject of girls.
Exactly. And this kind of is a shout out to all the guys here with lady friends on Valentine's Day. All of you, you got your girlfriends in town. You see them all the time. Well, here's one downfall to that. On Valentine's Day, you actually have to buy them a gift. Now, Mike, you know that my girlfriend lives out in Ohio. She goes to school out there.
Yes.
So I don't get to see her very often, which is sad. I wish I could see her more often. But you know what's awesome about that and what pumps me up? Valentine's Day, it's nothing for me. I'm completely free.
You're really going there?
It's completely free.
You cheapskate.
No gifts. I don't have to buy her anything. I don't have to spend money on a restaurant. Completely free.
Gosh. You're not even going to send, flowers or chocolates?
She probably wouldn't like them anyway.
Oh, come on.
She says that she doesn't want anything for Valentine's Day.
You're not going to believe that, are you?
I'm going to believe that because it saves me some money.
Guys out there, never believe that when your girl says she doesn't want anything, and you've heard this a million times, she does. They always want something. Everything is appreciated. Don't believe what they're actually saying.
But just know that I have it lucky. I don't got to do anything for Valentine's Day. Just know that. Just know that in the back of your mind.
Well, I guess if you put it that way.
What pumps you up?
Well, dance moves. Since you're speaking about getting pumped up by doing homework, well, I just busted a really good dance move in the studio here.
You did bust that dance move. You were going
I did.
ham.
I was kicking my feet everywhere. I got my special dancing shoes on tonight.
You were feeling groovy.
I was feeling groovy, and I thought it went off pretty well. And that reminds me, I'm really pumped up when I do a dance well.
Yeah?
I don't dance well or often, a lot, but when I do something very well and it looks good, then that pumps me up. You know what else pumps me up, by the way?
What?
Barbecue chicken pizza.
Barbecue chicken pizza?
So good.
Heading back to your dance one, I kind of hate to burst your bubble, but I feel like as a friend I need to tell you this. Yeah, you aren't that good of a dancer. I'm sorry. You just aren't. It's not your forte. Don't quit your day job is what I'm saying.
Wow, you're making me put dead airspace on this station right now because I am so shocked that you said I'm a bad dancer.
Well, okay,
it's on, Dakota Keul. Dance off right here. After we're done, dance off.
Dance off? Well, I got to head to this dance off, so I'm just going to go ahead and send you guys off. Thank you for listening. It's been a great show, and we're going to end it with the little Kings and Queens by 30 Seconds to Mars here on Edge 88.1. Welcome to a wonderful thing we call Switch Week here at Grandview. You are with DJ DK of usually the After Hours Talk Show. We're doing a wonderful thing where Mike Kelly and I are actually doing individual shows. So you guys get me for an entire hour. I know, best day of your life. Don't worry if you're a fan of the show. We will be returning on March 26th. We would love to come back next week, but next week is spring break and the building is closed. So right now, you got me for a whole hour. Make sure you keep it locked. It's going to be a great show for you here on Edge 88.1. First, we got What Makes You Beautiful by One Direction. Once again, you are listening to DJ DK here on Edge 88.1. Going to talk a little bit of ISU hoops. And guess what? They won tonight. They were playing Texas. It was a crazy close game. Tied all the way up till the end when Monty Morris, the wonderful point guard that he is, raises up, sinks a shot to move the ISU Cyclones on in the Big 12 tournament, 69-67. Make sure you keep track of those Cyclones. I predict a long run here in this tournament going into the NCAA tournaments. Back to the music here on Edge 88.1 with Somebody New by Joywave. That was All I Need Is You by Lecrae here on Edge 88.1. Tell you what, there's been some pretty big news coming out of the women's fighting area of sports. Lila Ali and Ronda Rousey getting into a war of words, if you will, on Twitter and social media. Ali saying that she could beat Rousey any day. Rousey saying the same thing back. It's pretty crazy. I'd like to see that fight, but pretty sure it won't happen. You know, Ali's retired for a reason, and I doubt that she'd want to come out to face arguably the best women's fighter in the world, and Rousey. It would probably be the end of her. Just like A Day to Remember, End of Me, coming up next here on Edge 88.1. It's DJ DK here on Edge 88.1. So, we all have had some pretty bad flight stories, let's be honest. You know, there's been some bad ones, some good ones. Well, I want to tell you about a bad one I had. One time, I was flying out to visit my sister, and on the first flight, a baby puked on me. On my face. So the person in front of me had her baby. She was holding him up, you know, just to, like, be cute or whatever. And it, like, projectile vomits on my face. Absolutely the worst experience I have ever had flying. The worst part, I had a layover after, so I had to just sit there in it. And I mean, I was able to wash off, but not well enough. Make sure you keep it locked here on Edge 88.1. That was Bills here on Edge 88.1. It was by Lunch Money Lewis. I tell you, we've all done some stupid stuff as kids. Well, this 16-year-old boy in Idaho, he set the new bar. He set the new record for most stupid thing to do, and that was he decided he wanted to hunt some pigeons, alright? On the roof of a grocery store. Okay? With a scoped pellet gun. So what did people do? Well, they did what anyone would do if they saw someone holding what looks to be a rifle on top of a grocery store. They called the police. Long story short, shut down this entire Idaho city because they thought that they were having a sniper on a grocery store. Not funny. Don't do it. That's just something stupid to do. Just use your heads, kids. Next up, we got Neon Lights by Demi Lovato here on Edge 88.1. This is DJ DK here on Edge 88.1, and I tell you what, I got a story about a girl who is far more athletic than I am. The impressive thing, she's only 11 years old. She can dunk on a 9-foot rim. Her name is Ashlyn Watkins from South Carolina. There are videos of her dunking on a 9-foot rim. I'm 6'3". I used to play basketball. I honestly don't know if I could do that. I honestly don't. This girl, I tell you what, she's got a future ahead of her, and it is in basketball because she is athletic. Next up, we got Cecilia and the Satellites here on Edge 88.1. That was Lionhearted by Porter Robinson here on Edge 88.1. DJ DK in the house. And you know how sometimes growing up you might get into fights with some siblings? I know I did. Well, I got a story for you about a fight with a sibling that got a little out of hand. Guy got into an altercation with his brother and decided to throw a license plate at him. The ironic thing, Jesus was written on the license. That was the license plate. It just said Jesus on it. It was like one of those vanity license plates. I feel like that guy should have looked down, seen that, and said, what would Jesus do? Apparently Jesus would throw the license plate at his brothers because that's what he did. Next up, we got Long Way Down by Robert DeLong here on Edge 88.1. This is DJ DK here on Edge 88.1, and let me tell you something. I have heard some pretty weird ways of trying to get out of arrest or a ticket or something like that. Well, I found a guy who he's got a little bit of a different way. He decided that in order to evade arrest, he was going to roll around in some dog feces and thinking that the cops wouldn't want to arrest him. Needless to say, his plan didn't work. He was over there rolling around in this dog feces and he's yelling, "You guys can't arrest me!" The cops are saying, "You want to bet?" Well, they arrested him, and I tell you, he looks pretty stupid now. But I tell you what, that's the end of the DJ DK show here for Switch Week. Next up, we got Right There by Ariana Grande.
Good morning, Darla.
Good morning, Herbert.
I tell you, that new nurse lady, she is just a sweetheart.
Well, of course she is. She came from Grandview University.
You know, I hear that they have a great nursing program.
Golly gee willikers, we are lucky to get Grandview nursing students.
Grandview's nursing program provides distinctive opportunities and prepares students to improve the health and well-being of society.
Apply today! Turn this racket off.
So the drug scene is a really slippery slope that once you start getting into it, you just fall further and further down the hill, and you get into more and more and more drugs. And as long as you're doing all these drugs, why wouldn't you sell them too? And so you start selling drugs, and as long as you're selling drugs, why wouldn't you grow them too? So you start growing drugs. And at one point in time, I had marijuana growing in our attic and mushrooms growing out in our garage. One time, some friends of mine were all at my house doing drugs. I think the drug of choice that time was LSD, or acid. And one of the guys, whether it was too much for his body to handle, he started completely freaking out. And he was running around the house. He didn't know who he was or what he was. He was screaming. He ran all throughout the house, started smashing electronics, ran outside for a while where all the neighbors were staring at us, and we had to go grab him and pull him back in very awkwardly. And it ended up being that we had to tie him up so he wouldn't hurt himself anymore or anyone else or get the cops called on us. And he pretty much just had to wait there until the effects of the drugs wore off. I pretty much lived like that for a few years, and I guess there came a time where I was mixing a lot of different drugs that you shouldn't. I would get woken up by my roommates at the time putting a blunt or a joint in my mouth, or giving me some shrooms or something. That is literally how I would start my day. And I was starting to experience issues with my body. My body started kind of shutting down. Mostly it was in the heart area. Started having heart palpitations to where it was out of rhythm and missing beats. So I went to the doctor, and they said that I needed to stop doing what I was doing for a while to try to get my health back up. And then it was in that time that I had my head out of the clouds, so to speak, that God chose to get a hold of me. And it was basically just, there was this feeling of a higher power stronger than any feeling from any drug that I've ever had before. And I had to figure out what it was. After not thinking about God for years, He opened my eyes. He showed me who I was without Him. He showed me my sin. At that time, I had no idea what it was. I knew I was a sinner. I knew I needed something, and I went looking. I turned to the internet, trying to figure out what this was, what this God was that I could feel stronger than any other feeling that drugs could ever give me. And I found some live streams from a pastor whose name is Craig Rochelle. He basically showed me and directed me to the Bible so that I could see myself. And I accepted Christ as my Savior, and He, under His power, not mine, completely changed my life. Not only my life on this earth, but He fixed my eternity and gave me hope here and for the future. I don't know much that's the same. I mean, me then, I wouldn't be able to talk to people if I wasn't stoned or hallucinating or drunk or something. I couldn't function in society the same way. I didn't care about anyone else. I only cared about myself. I didn't care about anything else that was going on in the world. If I died, I died, whatever. To now, where He's completely, even on this earth, He's changed my life. He first of all saved me. I didn't die. And now I mean, it's basically the reverse of that. My whole life has been flipped right side up, and it was hard to figure out how to live off of all those substances, but He gave me the strength and got me through it.
What in the world are we listening to? I want to listen to some rap.
Babe, I'm really feeling some classic rock right now.
No way. If we're listening to anything, it's gonna be dubstep.
Wait, I have an idea. Switch over to 88.1 right now.
You're right. That will be a perfect blend of everything we like.
Edge 88, Des Moines radio mashup. Solving couples problems since 1985.
All right, that was Ingrid Michelson with Girls Chase Boys. Welcome to another week of the After Hours Show with Melly and Coyle.
That's right. We got some good stuff coming up for you. We got some crazy news. We got a little bit of sports talk. We got some GV news here coming your way. That's right. It's going to be a great week, so make sure you keep that dial locked here on Edge 88.1. First, we'll start off the show with Painted by MSMR. And this is the After Hours Show here with Melanie and Coyle. So we're going to be bringing you a little bit of NFL talk coming in Sunday. We have the Steelers versus the 49ers. We're going to make our picks, talk about the game. What do you think is going to happen, Melanie?
Well, I'm just wondering who you're going to cheer for. I wonder who that could be.
Listen, you know me. You know I'm a Steelers fan, so you know it's going to be those Pittsburgh Steelers I'm going to be behind.
Well, guess what? I am going for the 49ers then, just to root against the team that you...
Just to root against me. You would do that. You honestly think Colin Kaepernick's going to have any success against the Steelers defense?
I firmly believe that he will. He has a great arm, good foot speed. I think he'll do well.
You're crazy. Let me tell you this. The Steelers defense have been shutting down quarterbacks like Colin Kaepernick for forever. They'll do it again this week. Call it down for a Steelers win Sunday.
Okay.
It's happening. Next up here on Edge 88, we got Flash Junk Mind by Milky Chance. Make sure you keep it locked. Alrighty. Back on Edge 88.1 with the After Hours Talk Show with Melanie and Coyle. We got a little bit of crazy news coming up for you right now. Alright, Melanie, tell me what you think about this. A man, he and his 2-year-old son stayed at a Omaha hotel, and he is convinced that they were poisoned by methamphetamines while staying there.
Alright, my first question is, how did he know that it was meth?
Okay, so this is all the evidence he has to suggest this. He says he used the coffee maker, and then he began to feel weird after drinking some of the coffee, and he says his son, who took a sip, got sick on his way back home to Pleasanton, Nebraska.
Well, yeah, I would automatically assume that it was meth that did that to me.
Exactly, you feel sick, it's meth. That's just all there is to it.
I must admit, though, if I had a 2-year-old son, I would be a little bit concerned about what the cause was.
Yeah, but I still feel like I wouldn't just automatically jump to, oh my goodness, it's methamphetamines! I just don't think that that's really the logical step. Alright, make sure you keep it locked here on Edge 88.1. We got some more crazy news, some more sports picks coming up on the After Hours show.
Hey Dakota, so you know that thing that's connecting Rasmussen and the Student Center?
The Skywalk?
Yeah, the Skywalk.
That big thing that's in the sky?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yeah, what about it?
It's open now.
It opened, finally.
Yes. We had the official ribbon cutting today. There were cheerleaders, dance team members, even Victor the Viking came out.
You know, it's a shame that it wasn't open this morning when it was absolutely downpouring and I had to cross East 14th and get absolutely soaked. That would have been nice.
I agree. Alright, it's Follow Me Down by Pretty Reckless here on Edge 88.1.
Alright, Melanie, we got a little bit more crazy news coming up for you.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you sure you're ready? Because this one is pretty nuts. So,
I'm ready.
You're a college student. You spend a lot of time at the library, correct?
Yeah.
That's a sarcastic laugh.
Yeah.
Well, a man who does spend a lot of time at the library recently got arrested. Ask me why.
Why did he get arrested, Dakota?
He got arrested for crawling under the tables. Okay, that's not necessarily illegal.
Maybe that's a good study position. I don't know.
But he was crawling under the tables to smell a variety of women's feet at the Florida International Library.
I know exactly how I feel about that. I feel very uncomfortable right now.
Like, just imagine if you were just sitting there chilling at the library and all of a sudden you just hear like a sniff sound, like, and all of a sudden you realize that he's sniffing your feet. Like,
and he didn't know the women, right?
No, he didn't know the women. He got arrested for that. It's creepy. Don't do it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think it's funny how we get to talk about these things, and it's just like, who even thinks to do that? That's my question. Who even thinks about it? It's hard to comprehend. Next up, we got Hard to Do by K. Michelle here on Edge 88.1. Alright, Melanie, your best friend. She's a teaching, she's an education major, correct?
Yes, she is.
So, I wonder kind of some of the things she has to go through, the things she has to learn to be able to teach.
Well, I know she does a practicum, for sure.
I don't know what that means.
It's observing
and
such.
Well, I tell you what, if she was a teacher in North Korea, You want to know what she would have to do?
Yes, I do.
She would have to be able to play the accordion.
Oh.
That is a law in North Korea that all teachers must know how to play the accordion. And not only that, in order to get a teaching certificate, they have to pass a accordion test, an actual standardized test of playing the accordion.
So they're filling out bubbles, or are they actually playing like a performance-based?
It's performance-based.
Oh my, yeah, I hardly made playing the flute until 8th grade, so I don't think I could learn the accordion after a couple years of college.
Listen, I've heard of some weird things that are required to do a job. Things that just seem completely out of there. Accordion to teach? Yeah, that takes the cake. 100%. That is the weirdest requirement to do a job ever. Next up on Edge 88.1, we got Magic by Selena Gomez. Keep it locked here for the After Hours Talk Show with Melly and Coyle.
It's game pick time again. Okay, Dakota, this game now is going to be the Lions versus the Vikings on Sunday.
That's the game we're picking?
Yep.
Easy, Vikings.
And why?
Why? First off, they got AP coming back, Adrian Peterson, who's best running back in the NFL. He's going to run all over the Lions. It's not even going to be a competition.
Well, I think the Lions are going to win.
Yeah, that's just because you don't want to agree with me. Why do you think the Lions are going to win?
It's just because my dad's from Michigan. It's kind of something we have to do. We have to cheer for the Lions.
So no actual game reason?
No, not really, but that's okay.
Whatever you say. Next up, we got Lovin' So Hard here on Edge 88.1.
You're listening to the After Hours Show with Melly and Coyle. All right, Dakota, so I went to choir retreat last weekend, and on the door it said, Grandview University Choir. Welcome, Grandview University Choir.
Well, that's nice of them to welcome you.
Grandview was one word.
I hate them. That is my pet peeve, 100%. I actually, I was in a class, one of my classmates did the same thing, called Grandview, one word, and it angers me to no end, because you go to this university. You should know.
I agree. It's hard because of the surrounding areas and parks and such, but...
No excuse. No excuse is what it is. Next up, here on Edge 88.1, we got Coming for the Throne, so make sure you keep it locked. So, Melanie, are you interested in, like, beauty pageants, all those other girly things that I'm, a guy about?
So are you talking about the Miss America pageant?
How did you know I was going to go there? Miss America, they had a Grandview alum on there, and she did very well. She got third.
Yeah, she was Miss Colorado, right?
Well, yeah, she was Miss Colorado. Recently there's been a lot of drama coming out of that whole realm with the View's comments on nurses, because she did that monologue about nurses, and the women on the View ended up kind of mocking her for it. What do you think about that whole thing?
I mean, I'm not a nurse or anything, but I would be offended no matter what. They are bashing a profession, and I don't think that's fair or kind.
True,
anyway.
True that.
So, I mean, and so as journalists, I don't appreciate that or approve of it.
True, it's just not a good look. Not a good look is what it is. Next up here on Edge 88.1, we got Boyfriend by Justin Bieber. Make sure you keep it locked. All right. Final crazy news segment here on the After Hours Show with Melanie and Coyle. We got a pretty crazy news story for you, Melanie.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, I'm gonna tell you the story. I want to see if you can guess the ending. Okay?
Okay.
So we got burglary suspects. They're robbing a drugstore. Bad guys.
Yeah.
Then they decide, it doesn't make sense for the getaway car to meet us by the drugstore. No. They're going to run through a back alley, and the car's going to be there waiting for them. Tell me the end of the story.
I'm just going to guess that the alley led to a central area, possibly the police station?
That's right. The back alleyway led exactly, and I mean to the doorstep of the police station in Roswell, Georgia. Dumb criminals. Okay, if you're gonna commit a crime, Be smart about it. At least think it through. Can you feel me? I mean, can you feel me? That's the next song, Can You Feel My Heart by Bring Me the Horizon here on Edge 88.1.
All right, that was Stitches here on Edge 88.1. It's time for our last pick of the night.
Last game pick. All right, here's the game we got. We got Cowboys versus the Eagles. Who you taking?
I don't have a pick yet.
You don't have a pick? Oh,
Yeah,
you're
you're
waiting.
you.
You're
Yep.
just waiting till I pick. I'm going to pick the Eagles because of their fast-paced offense. Going to run all over the Cowboys. Let me guess. Now you really think the Cowboys are going to win, don't
No,
you?
I'll choose the Eagles too.
You also. All right, good
in
choice.
your-
You might
in your
actually
good
win
graces.
this time.
All right, make sure to watch that game on Sunday.
And there's another After Hours show with Melanie and Coyle in the books. Make sure that you guys come in next week on Tuesday. That's right, Tuesday. We are now going to be on Tuesday nights, so make sure you're here next week.
Yep, we're switching the time. Make sure that you are here with us, the After Hours show on Tuesday at 8.
It's going to be a good time. You don't want to miss it.
Thanks for listening to Edge 88.1.
You're listening to the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle, and we're going to start off the show with a little bit of Cy-Hawk basketball talk.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'm not sure I really want to start off this segment after the unfortunate event that was last night's game against Baylor for Iowa State. It was just not pretty. Not pretty is what it was.
Not pretty at all. ISU a tough loss at home against Baylor, and the stakes of this loss are pretty high.
Big. It's a big loss.
Big loss.
And the thing is, Baylor played a great game, and I have to give them the credit for that. I just don't understand how both times that Iowa State has played Baylor, Baylor is just dominant. And every other game, they're good, but they aren't as good as they play against Iowa State, and that's what's upsetting.
Sometimes it's also the coach. Sometimes the coach has a certain team or program figured out.
True.
They, like the Baylor Bears, they've always been pretty successful against Iowa State. And I don't know how it's such a coincidence, but they shot lights out last night.
Oh, absolutely.
One player alone had 5 threes.
Exactly.
So maybe it's just a matter of coaching, even though Fred Hoiberg is a very good, respected coach.
It's so hard to take this loss in particular because we had finally fought back to where we could be in the driver's seat. We could be. Had we won that game, we would have been 11-4 in conference. Instead, we are 10-5, and then we would have been tied with Kansas at 11-4 in conference, and that would have been so big after dropping the games that we've dropped to fight back to be that level of success. It would have been big, but alas, it is not to be. Kansas is yet again running away with the conference.
For now.
For now.
Before you lost this, you were tied. Now you're down one game. Who knows? Maybe Kansas will win. Iowa State, they have a somewhat favorable schedule still. I mean,
yeah. They play Kansas State next. Oklahoma after that.
What do you think about that court storming that Kansas State did actually?
You know, I'm not a fan of
Kansas.
I'm not a fan of court storming, really. I don't think it's a good look for a program. You got to act like you've been there before, especially for Kansas State, who has been there before.
No, but this is an unranked team beating their rival, a very highly ranked in-state rival. I think you got to storm the court. You just got to do it a little bit more in a controlled fashion.
Yeah.
Of course, that would sort of defeat the purpose of storming the court in the first place.
Sure. The whole point is that you kind of go crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, they got to go crazy.
It's a big win for the program.
They got the go crazy part. That's for sure.
Well, you know what I'm crazy for? How about Iowa? The Iowa Hawkeyes winning against Illinois last night, and that marks a 3-game winning streak.
Oh, yeah.
Hawkeyes.
They're peaking right now. They're getting better and better, and that's what's impressive, especially with the backcourt that they have, which has really kind of been their Achilles tendon all year with Giselle and Jock, just not really being able to play that great against good opponents, and finally they're kind of starting to get it together.
Right,
that's
now
important.
The backcourt's picking the pace up, so that brings the question, how far can this team go in the tournament? They're looking right now to be maybe like a 9 or a 10 seed, possibly. They could work their way up to an 8 seed. How far can they really go, though? Can they win? What would be a successful postseason for them if they make the tournament? 1 win, 2 wins?
I would say success is at 2. If they could get 3, then that would be really big for the program as far as recruiting goes. Because
that would be Sweet 16.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you're a Sweet 16 team, you're making a lot of news, and I think if they got there, that would be a very successful season, especially kind of with some of the bad losses that we have seen from them this year.
But keep in mind, this Iowa team, or the Iowa program in general, has not won an NCAA game since the early years of the Steve Alford era. So if they could win even 1 game, I think that would be pretty a milestone, at least if they even won an NCAA tournament game. It would be disappointing if they couldn't build off that at all, but I think it would be significant if they could win at least 1 tournament game.
I think it would be significant to the fans of that program. I just think that it wouldn't go so far in gaining notoriety amongst everywhere else in the nation. I feel like that wouldn't really go that far to anyone outside of an Iowa fan base.
Well, trust me, I want the Iowa to win as many games as possible, but I will somewhat accept it if they can at least just win 1 game in the NCAA tournament.
You know what would really help Iowa, their college basketball program, is if they kind of started taking the notice of every other college basketball team and going after LeBron James Jr.
LeBron James, how old is he, by the way?
He's a 10-year-old. He is a 10-year-old.
10-year-old. So we could base our future hopes on a 10-year-old player.
Well, he's already getting scholarships, offers, and letters of interest from 4 colleges thus far.
4 colleges,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's 10 years old. Okay, so are they recruiting him because his dad is LeBron James, or is he actually really good?
He is actually really good. I've seen some, just a few little videos of him playing in his league, and he's already playing with people who are in junior high and stuff, and he's already by far the best player on the court, even as a younger player. And, I mean, he's going to be good. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, yeah. There's no mistake about that. Look who his dad is.
It's just a little ridiculous to go recruiting a 10-year-old.
Right, and this is something that's happening more and more, is that programs are recruiting talent from an earlier age now, looking into middle school, even younger, like 10 years old. Like, how far will teams go? If maybe they're just like, have parents with good genetics, okay, like we want your offspring, whatever your potential offspring might be, to come play for our program, because you're going to have the genes, the DNA.
Yeah.
Could be a good. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, what if it went that far?
Well, I tell you what, LeBron James Sr. is not happy about this. He's told all of the college coaches who have offered his son scholarships and stuff, pretty much to go take a hike. Like, you should not be recruiting a 10-year-old son. That's ridiculous.
I agree. He's probably saying, we are done with this conversation. And guess what? That's the next song. We Are Done by the Madden Brothers, right here on Edge 88.1.
That was Rude by Magic here on Edge 88.1, and you are listening to the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle here on this wonderful Thursday night.
Beautiful Thursday night.
Absolutely. Degrees. Beautiful night for what? A little bit of crazy news. A little bit of no-way news. Yeah, maybe you've heard of this. There was a 280-pound catfish caught in Italy.
Yeah, I did see this.
Make sure to check out our Twitter at KDPS88. We put a picture up there so you guys can see.
This fish is gigantic.
It is huge. And what's crazy about it? It didn't even break the record. It broke the record for largest fish done pulled in by like a actual like fishing pole, like just a fishing pole and a
rod and reel.
Yeah, a rod and reel. But apparently people have caught upwards of 350-pound catfish.
That's incredible. And I don't know, like, if you look at the picture, this fish looks big enough to swallow 3 or 4 people. I mean, this thing is massive. It's 8 feet long, 285 pounds. This thing is, it's a whale.
And then they released it back. Like, no, that's dangerous.
I know that. I think that's a public safety hazard right there. I mean, that's going to eat people.
Yeah,
it's huge,
huge.
Well, stay tuned. We got one segment left. We're going to leave you with a little System of a Down. on Edge 88.1. This is Edge 88.1, the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle, coming down the home stretch of the show tonight.
Absolutely. Last thing on the menu is what we got here. We'll pump you up.
Pump you up. What pumps you up, Dakota?
What pumps me up? So, I'm a big fan of maybe some different foods. I like experiencing different foods, kind of broadening my horizons, if you will. So what pumps me up is some good sushi. I love sushi. And man, if I can get some good sushi in my belly, oh, I'm happy. I'm a happy boy.
So that's what pumps. I don't like
sushi.
I don't like sushi.
You don't like sushi?
Of course, I will say the one time I've had sushi was from Hy-Vee.
Yeah, okay. No, I said good sushi, not Hy-Vee sushi.
But this came on a recommendation from someone who actually likes sushi and say, yes, we have good sushi at Hy-Vee. I said, all right, I'll eat some. And it tasted pretty decent going down. And about 5 minutes later, I wanted to throw up.
Nah. See, Hy-Vee sushi is cheap sushi. Okay?
All right,
you
where
gotta
should,
go
where
to
should
like
we
an
go to get good sushi?
There are lots of good places out there. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but there's one really good place out by Winsong Theater. It is super, super good. We're going to have to go sometime, and I'll get you some good sushi so you can truly understand what I say when I say good sushi pumps me up.
I mean, we'll see. I like my fish cooked. Thank you very much.
Well, they have cooked sushi. They do actually have, like, cooked sushi.
Well, that I would be interested in trying.
It's smoked is what it is.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, what pumps me up is when someone gives you a jump.
A jump?
A jump.
Just walks past you on the hallway and just kind of jumps as they come past you?
Right. When someone just walks by me and just jumps. No, I'm kidding. When someone, like, when your car battery dies and you can't really start your car, probably because you left your lights on, which I don't know what's going on with me the last... I don't know what's going on with me the last 2 months or so, but as soon as I get in my car, it doesn't matter what time of day it is, I turn my lights on. And I don't know why, but I keep leaving them on when I turn the car off and leave.
It's quite silly of you.
I know. I don't know what it is about me. I keep turning my lights on, and I keep leaving them on. So, like, in the last, I want to say 2 months, I've killed my battery, like, 4 times.
Jeez.
4 times. But it's always awesome when someone's there to really, like, start your car again.
You know, at first I thought that you were talking about me and you were saying, like, trying to subtly say thank you, because I did that, was it last week or?
He did last
week.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
We sat in his car for about, I want to say, half an hour.
Yeah. While we gave you a jump. And we're good friends.
Right.
So that's something that, even if we don't sound like it when we're on the air, we are good friends.
Indeed.
And so that's just a friendly thing to do. If your buddy needs a jump, give him a jump.
Right. And funny story about that occurrence. We were in my car that long because turns out my jumper cables were broken.
Yes.
They didn't work. So we were sitting there like, why isn't the car starting? The jumper cables have been connected for the last half hour.
Yeah.
And then we figured out they didn't even spark when you touched them together.
Yep. And then we switched to mine, and voila, the problem was fixed.
Voila. So take good care of your tools, folks.
Exactly. Otherwise, you'll end up looking like an idiot in front of your co-host who's trying to give you a jump.
Hey, now, just when you said we were good friends, don't ruin it, man.
I apologize for saying that you look like an idiot. You don't look like an idiot.
Oh, thank you.
You usually just are.
Thank you.
So, this pump you up, it's actually a joint pump you up. The first ever joint pump you up in After Hours Talk Show history.
A mutual pump you up.
Yes, a mutual agreement on pump you up. Do you want to say it? Do you want me to say it?
I'll say it.
You'll say it?
I am pumped up by our Grandview radio station.
Our Grandview radio station website is what pumps us up.
Should we say it together?
Yes.
Ready?
KDPS Grandview.wix.com/radio.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Grandview.wix.com/radio. It's a great site. We got all kinds of content going up there. We got blogs, pictures, videos, a lot of cool stuff, including Dakota, yours and mine's photo for
Yep.
DJs
DJ
of the month
month.
January.
I've always wanted to win DJ of the month here, and now I feel like I've accomplished a lifelong dream of mine.
Right, you can go to the website. You can see us holding our nice little certificates.
You can see how we aren't joking when we say we have faces for radio.
Especially you, Dakota.
Mostly me.
Mostly Dakota.
Mostly me. Mike's
Right.
a good-looking guy, not me.
No, it's fun. It's fun.
Exactly.
Go to the website, folks. Check it out. It's
Lots
awesome.
of great stuff on there. Lots of reviews, blogs. One by our own Abby Graves of What to Do in Des Moines. That's a good one.
It is.
It's actually really useful. It's helpful. Knowing what to do in Des Moines.
It is helpful. You can also listen live to the station.
Exactly. Stu and Roo Show is what that is.
Right, so check it out, folks.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a great show tonight. Absolutely wonderful. Great stories. Great time being with y'all. And you know what? We're going to send it off on probably one of our favorite songs here at Edge 88.1 with Kings and Queens by 30 Seconds to Mars.
Edge 88.1 is the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle.
Woo woo.
Every Thursday night from 8 to 10.
Absolutely.
We'll start off with our regular segments tonight. Cyhawk basketball talk and brew.
And then we're going to move into a little bit of No Way, some crazy news, and then pump you up here on Edge 88.1. But first we're going to start off the music with Walkin' on a Dream by Empire of the Sun. This is the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle here on Edge 88.1.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go ahead and start off the show with a little bit of basketball talk.
Indeed.
Not so much Cyhawk anymore, but just basketball.
No, unfortunately, the Hawks and Clones and the Panthers, for that matter, are all out of the tournament.
Yeah, considering the tournament's over.
The tournament is over, and it all came down to Duke and Wisconsin. Now, at the beginning of the year, could you have seen that happening, like the game coming down to those two teams?
I could definitely have pictured Duke. Wisconsin, definitely not. I don't think... Wisconsin at the beginning of the year, I think, was an okay team, but really they started turning it on around the middle of the year. They really figured out how to play basketball, really, as a team. When they started off the season, they were really slow on offense, really kind of struggling on that end of the floor, but then they kind of just figured out how to play offense, and it was after that really people started seeing Wisconsin as a legitimate contender.
Yeah, I mean, this was a bona fide team. I mean, they were top 5 all year long.
Oh, absolutely.
I believe, but they really stepped up the play.
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. And,
and especially at the tournament time.
Yeah, especially that Wisconsin-Kentucky game is still, to me, probably one of the greatest. I don't know if you can call it an upset,
was good.
but one of the greatest games I think I've ever seen in college sports.
Right. I don't know how you can say it's an upset or that they were a Cinderella team, because both of these teams were 1 seeds.
Exactly.
And we haven't seen a game where we've had a championship game where we've had 2 number 1 seeds, or even the Final Four where all the number 1 seeds made it. Yeah. Well, of course there wasn't. Michigan State was the Cinderella team, I guess.
Yeah.
For the Final Four.
But the thing was that Kentucky was so much better than the rest of the competition that even though Wisconsin was a 1 seed, it still almost had that feel of an upset where you didn't think that Kentucky was going to lose. And so even though it wasn't really an upset, I think that it still had that same type of feel.
But with this Kentucky team and in comparison to Duke, because I thought those were the 2 best teams in the tournament, Duke, just the way they were able to score is one thing. I think they're much better scorers than Kentucky is. But what really made them propel past all the other teams was they stepped up their defense immensely. Their defense was lights out. I don't know if you saw the Michigan State Duke game in the Final Four. Their defense was intense.
Absolutely, and that's what you'll get from a Krzyzewski team. He will make you work your tail off on defense, and that's why he's so good every single year. Because in the college game, it seems like almost everyone has offense. That's you just see that, but when you see a team that can score as well as Duke can and will get after on defense, it's nigh on unbeatable.
It was, and I bet you last show that if Wisconsin was able to beat Kentucky, the number 1 team all year, I would have to buy you Snapple and peanut M&Ms. And what did we just have before the show?
We had Snapple and peanut M&Ms is what we had.
We did. Courtesy of a friend of ours, Megan from Grandview.
Absolutely.
Supporting the show.
Always coming through in the end is what you and Megan can do, and that's good.
Right. So back to the Kentucky game.
Yes.
That was a great game.
Great game.
I think that game was better than the national championship, and the national championship game was good.
I agree. I also think the Kentucky-Wisconsin game was probably a little bit better, just because of
who Kentucky was.
Exactly.
And the expectations on
exactly.
Kentucky.
And
0 losses.
That being said, they followed it up about as well as they possibly could with that Duke-Wisconsin game.
They did. What a game that was. Back and
such a
forth
good game.
The whole time. Wisconsin came out to big leads, and then Duke just chipped away at them and came back. And then there was this time when it was a crucial time. Duke had taken the lead, and it was within under 2 minutes. I think they were up by 4 or 3.
I think it was 4.
4 points, and the ball is tipped out of bounds during a loose ball, and they're not sure who it's out on, and the refs originally call it out on Wisconsin, then they go to review it because it's within 2 minutes you can review the call. And after lots of replay on TV for those viewers at home, you can see that the Duke player tips it out with his finger, just barely touches it, but he does knock it out. And the refs, after about 5 minutes, they still call it out on Wisconsin. Like, what is up with that?
And that right there is a shame that such a great game and such a great tournament is coming down to a missed call by the refs. You know, when that's what people are talking about after the game, it's a shame to see that, because it really was such a great game. You would have liked to see what happened if they got that call correct. And
right. I still think Duke could have won in that situation.
Probably.
But it does beg a question. And originally what came out was that the referees didn't have all the video image that the viewers did at home. They didn't have the angles, the camera angles, to see that the Duke player tipped it out originally. But now they're coming out and saying, I think within the last day or so, that they did have those angles. They just couldn't clarify it enough.
And that's what I want to know. How can they not clarify it? It's obvious, you know? Like, if it's clear on the TV screens at home, I think that they should be able to get it clear for the refs too. I don't see how that can possibly be an excuse for them.
Nevertheless, I think Duke was the better team in this matchup.
Probably. They're better that night, at least.
Better that night, at least. Well, we hope you keep listening to music right here on Edge 88.1, because up next we got Breakdown by Jack Johnson. This is Edge 88.1. It's the After Hours Talk Show with Kelly and Coyle. Well, we're going to start off with a little bro talk. Tell me what's some annoying things that guys do. Some bro moments.
All right, I got a good one here. A real good one.
Okay.
We're going to start it off with guys who watch girly shows on the night of a big game.
Oh, yes.
Guys who watch girly shows like, Gossip Girl, maybe.
Yeah.
And I am referring to one of our classmates who, on the night of the big basketball championship game, watched Gossip Girl instead of the game.
Wow.
That is a bro moment.
That is,
bro.
You can't miss, if you could call yourself any kind of a basketball fan, you cannot miss the ultimate end to the greatest month of sports basketball ever, which is March Madness.
Bro!
The crowning moment of it is in the Final Four of the championship game, and you're going to spoil that, the greatest game of the year, by watching Gossip Girl?
I know, right? When I heard that, I about fell out of my chair when he said that he watched Gossip Girl rather than the game.
I might have choked him out after I learned that.
That's not cool. No. I don't care if you're a fan of the show, that's okay. If you're gonna say you're a sports fan, which he says he is a sports fan, specifically a basketball fan, you can't miss the big game for Gossip Girl.
Exactly.
Under no circumstances.
This is gonna lump him in with the nerds, the people that don't like sports, people that just like to play games or watch birds. This is lumping him in with all those type of people. If you're not going to watch the biggest basketball game for college, How can you possibly call yourself a sports fan like that, a basketball fan?
Exactly. I don't get it. Bro moment, what are you doing? Just no.
No. Total bro. Come
exactly.
on, bro.
What do you got?
Well, I'm going to go with guys that brag too much.
With guys who brag
Yes.
too much?
Guys that will, like, just constantly toot their horn all the time.
Toot toot. I feel like that kind of always goes hand in hand with the guys who are really good at sports. You know, they're constantly bringing up exactly how good they are at sports. Like,
yeah, and they try to interject themselves like in every part of your life because they think that they're the best at everything.
Sometimes I'll be talking about like a restaurant. I'll be like, yeah, it was really good. And someone will just be like, you mean as good as my 3-point shot last night? And I'm like, who are you?
Or as good as that pin I had the other day?
Yeah, exactly. That's just annoying. Just stay out of our conversations and don't brag all the time. It's
sports
I mean,
jocks,
it's not only
lot,
sports people,
no,
but
I mean,
it seems like they're kind of the most common offenders, you know? Just like Pink Floyd, Louder Than Words, coming up next on Edge 88.1.